The other thing I wanted to mention, Rusty, is I'm a few days away from filing my lawsuit in federal court in the state of Missouri, which will launch a constitutional attack on Obamacare, and it will be different, Rusty, from the other attorney general's lawsuits that have already been filed. We will not be suing as a state. They are all suing as the state of Missouri, the state of Florida, the state of Virginia, the state of Louisiana. Our lawsuit will be different, and not a facial challenge, as the lawyers say, but an as-applied challenge. That is, we will have a senior citizen lady suffering from multiple health problems from her diabetes and congestive heart failure, and she will allege under our lawsuit that Medicare is her Medicare Advantage opportunity is being denied her, and she's going to be forced onto Medicaid, onto third-rate medical care. We're going to have the parents of an autistic child who makes a claim about the ruination of that autistic child's health care owing to the passage of this bill. We're going to have multiple other claims in this lawsuit that are the claims of individual American citizens who happen to be citizens of Missouri.
Peter Kinder is here. He is the lieutenant governor of the state of Missouri. Do you think that this is, do you have a chance? I mean, the federal government seems to think that they should be able to run everything. This Commerce Clause covers everything, according to them.
We think we have a real chance. Let me tell you why. The Commerce Clause does have limits. If it doesn't have limits, then we don't have limited government. It's very simple. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, made that clear multiple times in the Federalist Papers. But the Lopez case is instructive. The Lopez case was, I believe, Justice Scalia writing for the majority back in 1995. And the Lopez case arose out of San Antonio with a gun-free school zone case, a federal law mandating gun-free school zones. And so you got into federal court because in San Antonio they had a gun-free school zone mandated by federal law, and a citizen of Texas sued, saying the federal government cannot command this. Under what power do you claim it? And the federal government claimed to be able to do gun-free school zones at the federal level under the Commerce Clause. And Justice Scalia, writing for a majority of the court in the Lopez case, said, no, the Commerce Clause is not that broad. There are limits to it. You cannot just make the Commerce Clause to the federal Constitution a warrant for any action by Congress. And if you can, then there are no limits to what a misguided congressional majority could do to any of us. So we're relying on Lopez jurisprudence in making our case. We're going to be making our way through the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in St. Louis. That's the Midwestern states in the center of the country, which we believe is the most conservative of the federal circuits, on our way to the Supreme Court. And I hope to come back on your show many times over the course of this litigation and to talk about our progress.
Well, I'd appreciate that. Lieutenant Governor of the state of Missouri, Peter Kinder, here on the Rusty Humber Show. Although you better do it fast. If one more Supreme Court justices drops, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, if one liberal, if we get one more on that court, the Commerce Clause is going to mean everything. They'll take everything.
But I understand, and Kagan is making that clear in her hearings today. But understand this: Sotomayor, a liberal, a real leftist, replaced a leftist. Kagan, a leftist, is replacing a leftist. So far, we have not had a shift on votes. Okay, so far it's been a one-for-one trade. One leftist for another leftist. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm worried about the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about the next one. Peter Kinder here, Lieutenant Governor of Missouri. Anything else you guys working on right now that folks across the country need to know about? Are you working on like term limits thing, right?
Well, Rusty, term limits were grafted onto our Constitution. The first year I ran as a supporter of them back in 1992, the year I ran for the state senate and won. And I'm a supporter of term limits. The Missouri voters put that in our Constitution by a 72% supermajority.
But that doesn't affect national law like senators or congressmen, is that right?
Well, no, that was the subject of the U.S. Supreme Court case where they struck them down. Our people wanted them on the federal level, but the court struck that down. So we have them on state legislators and not on the federal Congress.
And You got guys like Byrd, who's there, I believe it was 140 years. I may be off a little bit, but something similar to that. And the problem with that, though, is if Missouri passed it and it was legal, and the other states didn't, then Missouri would tend to have less power in the Senate and the House. Is that correct? Or
yeah, any state that did enact term limits on their federal lawmakers, vis-a-vis other states that did not, would be sort of engaging in an act of unilateral disarmament.
Yeah, it's something that needs to be done across the board. Hey, Peter Kinder, it's been a pleasure. Is there a website where people can check you out and learn more about what you're working on there, Missouri?
Two websites. My campaign website is Team Kinder. Team Kinder, that's KINDER.com, teamkinder.com. And then our healthcare lawsuit, I want to direct folks there, that's healthcareinaction.com. All together, one word, healthcareinaction.com.
Teamkinder.com, healthcareinaction.com. So you're up again. How long have you been in office?
I was elected first time in 2004 after 3 4-year terms in the Senate. I was the only Republican to swim against the tide in Missouri and being reelected in 2008. And so I'm coming up on halfway through my second term as Lieutenant Governor.
Well, best of luck to you, Lieutenant Governor. I hope you'll keep talking to us and keep us up to date on this lawsuit against the feds, because we need you guys to win this one for all of us.
Thanks for your time this evening, Russ.
Thank you very much, my friend. All right, Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Missouri, Peter Kinder, here on the Rusty Harvey Show. We'll take a quick one, get to your phone call, see what's on your mind.